I was thinking today about Godwin's Law. That notion that uh, any conversation or debate or argument, especially in the internet, any conversation that goes long enough, someone will eventually bring up Nazis or Hitler or like as an argument goes longer, the probability that someone will bring up Hitler grows to one. That kind of stuff. And I was thinking about how, like, I think that there's Godwin's Law, and then there's the thing where people take it if you make a Nazi comparison of any kind, you lose basically. The conversation is over, and like it's wrong in any conversation basically to make that kind of comparison. And it makes sense in a way because people really like do that in bad faith a lot of times, um, just trying to smear like, oh, like ridiculous stuff. Oh, you breathe oxygen. Hitler used to breathe oxygen. Or you like dogs? You know who liked dogs? Yeah. And so basically like just a roundabout way to call your opponent a Nazi, and a Nazi and wrong, so and bad by default, right? And of course, that's a ridiculous way to to have a conversation, and like if someone does that, really, probably it's not going to get much better than that. But I think the notion that oh, people mentioning Hitler in conversation is bad. It's kind of overused sometimes, like overapplied, I think, because I really do think that it can be a legitimate uh, rhetorical device sometimes. Like not even a rhetorical device, cause it's not about winning an argument, but I think it's useful to to understand, you know, the other person better. Like if you're having a conversation, like is it okay to lie? Is it always wrong to lie? And you can do, the oh, you're in Nazi Germany, and a Nazi officer comes to your door and asks you if oh, have you seen a little Jewish girl around here somewhere? And she's in your basement. Is it okay to lie then? Right? And like if you ask this question, the conversation now splits because the person can say, "Oh no, yeah, of course, no, it would be okay to lie in that situation." Okay, I don't agree with that. And so, oh, okay, so it's not an absolute like you think lying is mostly wrong, like in most situations, but in some situations it's actually okay or the right decision. So, which situations? Well, what is more important than not lying, or is it because there's a life at stake or something like that? Like you can have a conversation about specifics because it's not an absolute thing now. Or in the other hand, if the person can say no, I think it's wrong to lie even then, and then it's absolute. I don't think it's okay to ever lie. And okay, the conversation shifts there too. Like it's different the way that you're gonna progress like the discussion, and now you know a little better about what the other person thinks, and like you have a better foothold on how to, like, what are the next questions, where do we go from here to have a productive conversation. But if people have this thing in their head that, oh, they mention Nazis, I'm out of here. Like, I don't want to have this conversation. It blocks off this kind of questioning, which, like I said, I think it's useful. And it's not even just like the Hitler thing is the most obvious example, but it's something more general that I think it's broadly useful, but that people don't take too well. Uh, Unfortunately, because it's something like it's kind of the way my mind kind of works. But like when having a debate of some kind, like I tend to my mind goes to those kind of extremes. Like, when I ask about, oh, so you think X? What about X in that extreme situation? Not because I'm trying to break someone's argument or trying to, like, win, but oh, like, to point a contradiction. It's earnest. It's trying to understand the person's position, just so we can have a better, interchange of ideas, because I have to know what are their ideas so we can interchange them, I guess. uh, but yeah, people usually don't take too well because, you know I think it really is common, unfortunately, to people to do that thing, the line of questioning in bad faith. So I kind of have to not do that as much as, like, my mind tries to. Like, it's usually the first thing that comes to my mind, and I have not to do that. And it would be easier to not do that if this wasn't something that people actually, like, do all the time, like saying, like, things in absolute terms that they're not absolute at all to them. Like, no, no, you should never lie. Like, people say that, no, you should never lie. But if you question, like, oh, is it okay to lie, about Anne Frank in your basement? Well, no, yes, it's okay to lie then, of course. And it's about lots of things in life. People say it in absolute terms because, I mean, it's easier, of course. Like, uh, we can't be adding, you know, uh, you're always oversimplifying, and the the easiest way to oversimplify is to be absolute in this way, which is okay in many situations. It's like, if you're trying to be specific and trying to have a conversation and really understand each other, like, we have to get in specifics, but sometimes people just, like a force of habit, keep saying stuff in absolute terms, and we have to work it out if they really think is absolute or not. But how do you do that without asking the question about an absolute situation and trying to, an extreme situation, and seeing what they think about, um, then, oh, is it really absolute? Does it apply always? Or maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, depending on some parameters. And okay, but then we can talk about the parameters and what are them, anyway, it's just one of these quirks of humans. I think just that kind of makes me harder for me to have a conversation just because that's the way my brain works, and people don't take that too well. What can you do, right? Well, anyways, see you later, guys.